Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Thursday Uncle back here with another video, and we are finally back to NBA talks because the NBA season is approaching and everybody is getting off their hot takes, talking about players that they don't like, talking about players they do like, teams they don't like, teams that they do like. And that's what we're doing. We're coming back. We're coming back with a vengeance. We're coming back for revenge. And I want to talk about two players that I don't necessarily hate, but I think have become very, very overrated in the landscape of the NBA when you look at all the talent that we have, top to bottom. Those two players being Jayson Tatum of the Boston Celtics and Damian Lillard of the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, do I think both of these guys are good players? Absolutely. I think these guys are good players. Do I think they're great? Absolutely not. I think that the media props up certain guys, and regardless of talent, regardless of them quote unquote being good enough to be the guy, they still get promoted as such because so much has been invested into these guys. You need certain faces for different markets, and you know, the fans are not all that smart enough to realize that, okay, this guy really can't do this, he can't do that, but yet we're seeing him all the time. Why? Where this guy over here doesn't get talked about, De'Aaron Fox and Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. Like, we don't talk about these guys over here, but we keep talking about these guys that are inferior to those guys. Isn't that crazy? And this past season has exposed these guys. You know, I love being right. I love being right. I was right about Damian Lillard. I was right about Jayson Tatum. But nobody wanted to listen to me. And the problem that I have with being right all the time, when you're right, people tend to triple down on being wrong. See, people only do this for certain players when it doesn't fit their narrative anymore. Like, say, people wanted to say Luka and Kyrie wouldn't work. I was on the fence, teeter-tottering, you know, it could work, could not. But people were ready to say Kyrie made the Mavs worse. He dragged them down. Luka is just a fat slob. All this stuff, right? People were saying that it would never work. And then they went to the NBA Finals the next season. You feel me? But yet with these other guys, we got to give them time. We got to give them time to gel. We got to give them a full season or 2 seasons. These guys are getting older. Guys like Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, all these guys are getting older. And you're talking about giving them another season to show you that they can do what you think they can do? These guys are not turning back the clock. These guys are not LeBron. They're not KD. They're not Steph. They are not nearly as great as those players. They are not going to be impactful long term. These guys are literally about to be washed, if not washed already. Damian Lillard is. But listen, most of these guys are going to end up a lot closer to CP3 and Carmelo Anthony than a Steph Curry, KD, and LeBron. Stop thinking that everybody is going to be that. They're not. But what I have to say about these players, it's going to be nothing but the truth. Whether if you like it or not, I chose to put them both in the video because I knew that it would get hate. I knew that you guys would come after me because you did it when I talked about it last year. And I was right. I was right. I was right. But y'all didn't want to give me the credit for it, so I took it. You feel me? Jayson Tatum, not the guy. Damian Lillard, damn sure not the guy. And y'all still mad about it. I seen on Twitter somebody say the Dame trade is aging horrible. And people was like, oh, this is just such a bad take. How? How? The nigga didn't play no better than Russell Westbrook did in LA. Sure, the numbers look good on paper because he was shooting a bunch of free throws, but Dame had a shitty year. You feel me? How did the trade not age bad? They had a full season together. Oh, well, Giannis was hurt. And if he was healthy, do you think they beat the Celtics with Dame performing like that? No. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Like, you guys do not believe that they're good enough to beat the Celtics. These guys are getting old. Even Giannis is getting older. You feel me? Giannis is still in his prime, and Giannis is going to be Giannis because Giannis is great. Truly great. Truly a superstar in every sense of the word. You feel me? A transcendent player. That's what he is. Jayson Tatum is not that. Damian Lillard is not that. So any team or any player that Giannis plays with, they have a chance to win based on Giannis alone. Damian Lillard looks good on paper, but in the reality, championship expectations, the nigga was getting his chain snatched all fucking season by every young point guard or point guard that y'all perceived to be on his level. Everybody went on a tour with his shit. Everyone. And he never got it back, by the way. He never got it back. Dame's chain is... Who was the last person to snatch his chain? Hallie? Hallie got his shit right now in Indiana. Right now. Hallie snatched his chain more than anybody. You feel me? Like, literally. And the diamonds was fake, too. You feel me? So, he got to go back to Indiana and get his shit back from Hallie. So, Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum... My problem with a lot of people when it comes to him is that not only is he kind of corny in a way, but the thing is he's a young guy. I'm a little bit older than Jayson Tatum, but it's like you forget that these guys are practically just kids at times, like still growing because they look like grown men. They are grown men in a sense, but they're tall. You feel me? They have facial hair, everything. You forget these guys are still growing. He has an identity issue where he's trying to create certain moments. He's not able to be his authentic self because, it's just branding. He's trying to find a moment, that whole shit after, we did it, like, or something like that. It was corny, like, just chill. But Jayson Tatum is not the best player on the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is. And a lot of people have an issue with accepting that because they have marketed Jayson Tatum as the best player on the Celtics without showing anything. You feel me? How does the player that get the conference finals MVP play the best and get the finals MVP not end up being perceived as the best player on the team? We need to stop this. We don't need any evidence to say this about a player. You feel me? All the other players can have these credentials, to say that they are the best, but because you don't like them enough, but because it doesn't fit your narrative, because it diminishes the other player that you prop up. You feel me? We got to stop this. Basketball, we have so much of a sample size over years to make a conclusion on what a player is and what a player is not. The two things that we know, Jayson Tatum is not the guy. We have 2022. We have 2024. You feel me? We have those samples and shit. Even 2023. We have sample sizes to show that Jayson Tatum is indeed not that guy. He is not the best player on that team. It is Jaylen Brown. And that's okay. He can be the second best player. He can be the third on any given night. But we're not giving a nigga credit for setting screens in the finals. We're not giving a nigga credit for actually trying to go out there. This whole that he was trying to sacrifice his stats for the betterment of the team. No, the nigga was trying and he just wasn't getting it done. And that's okay. Not every player can achieve superstar status. It's not meant for everybody. And people threw a tantrum when he didn't play in the Olympics. They didn't need him. He was out there because of Nike. They didn't need him. You feel me? They would have been better off using Hallie. You feel me? But you guys are just so obsessed with this. We need Jayson Tatum. He's great. He's this, he's that. They won the gold medal without him. He wasn't needed. And that's okay. Because, see, when it comes down to winning, who was out there? Derek White. Who was out there? Drew Holiday. See, we can push all these narratives about how this player is great, that player is great. But when you actually want to win something, who's the ball going to? Jaylen Brown. When you actually want to win something, Drew Holiday. All that Jayson Tatum shit, that's branding. You feel me? That's not reality. But let's go back to Damian Lillard, okay? We have seen Dame put up good stats on a bad team, right? I'm tag teaming these niggas, by the way. But we've seen Dame put up good stats on a bad team. And I remember the graphic that people use, like Dame had the 31, Giannis had the 30 or something like that. And people just thought it was going to be the most crazy offensive duo ever, right? And when it did not live up to those expectations, people just kept making excuses. Oh, Dame, he's going to get back, right? He's going to warm up. He's going to do this. He always starts off like this. And then it just became an entire meme throughout the entire season that Dame could have a great game here and then 5 bad games. And then people made excuses and this and all that. That is who Damian Lillard is in a winning situation. Expectations. See, back in Portland, nobody was looking. Everybody just cared about him putting up stats. Like, say, this upcoming season for the Brooklyn Nets, Cam Thomas might have great efficiency or bad efficiency. All people are going to care about is that he's putting up 30, 26 and that. And we're going to say, ooh, wow, look at Cam Thomas. That is who Damian Lillard was. No expectations, nothing. You feel me? He was comfortable over there in Portland. He came over here and you feel me? This is what it is. We have to judge him based on championship expectations. We can no longer talk about how he did this back in Portland. That shit is gone. That we are not holding him to that same standard because there was no standard. We are no longer saying what Dame was. We have a sample size of a season of Damian Lillard coming off the quote-unquote best season of his career in Portland, going straight to the Milwaukee Bucks, right? You are saying this is prime Dame, right? There is no reason why his production fell off like that and his efficiency was that damn terrible. But you guys keep saying that he's on this quote-unquote championship level. He is not. But we have this upcoming season to prove that definitively. You feel me? Since you guys want to keep giving guys a pass, I will give Damian Lillard one more chance before I slander him until the day that he retires. You feel me? Jayson Tatum is still young. I don't think he owns shit. But Damian Lillard, this is your last chance. And everybody knows it. You feel me? How many chances did Russell Westbrook get before people started to turn on him? You feel me? Where did he go? He went to Houston. People was like, Russ is still like that. You feel me? Triple-double machine. Oh, they're going to move him to the 5, right? He went to Washington. Like, oh, yeah, like, he broke the triple-double record. We love Russ. Oh, my God, Russ is so amazing. And then he went somewhere that affected somebody that you love. That being LeBron James and the LA Lakers. Then y'all turned on his ass. You feel me? Y'all turned on him. And I'm not saying that Russ was playing great, but I'm saying that Damian Lillard is of that caliber of player. And he's just like Russ. He's just a better shooter. You feel me? I'm talking about that archetype of player who is a one-man show. You feel me? They're not meant to win championships. They're just not. They are a one-man show. They are not championship caliber players. Jayson Tatum is very lucky that he got drafted to the Celtics because I feel like a player like Donovan Mitchell would have carried them to multiple championships if he was drafted by the Celtics. So it's just whatever you're drafted to, I guess, right? Can't blame a player for that. But back to Damian Lillard. You have an opportunity to prove all the haters wrong, and I don't think he will. You feel me? But a lot of people are going to give Dame a pass for what happened last season. Let's give him a pass. Let's say that Damian Lillard is this amazing player who is championship level and they can beat the Celtics, the Philly in general, that they can beat that team that they just got together with Paul George and they just paid Embiid. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. Let's just say that Damian Lillard and Giannis are able to overcome the injuries and the health and all this stuff. But Injuries are part of the game, as they say. But let's just say they stay healthy, right? Let's hope that they stay healthy. And they play these teams. And they lose again. What will be the excuse? You're going to blame Doc Rivers? He's the coach. You feel me? They hired him. They fired Adrian Griffin. You know? They fired the other coach too. It's like, it doesn't matter. You feel me? You're stuck with him. It is what it is. So, Budenholzer, like, he's not there. There's no more fall guys. So what's going to happen? Either Giannis is going to leave, or you guys are going to criticize Dame, or they're going to trade Dame. Either way, this trade is going to age terribly. You feel me? And you guys are going to have to accept it. Jayson Tatum, Damian Lillard. These are the two players that I am watching out for. This is a prove-it year for you niggas, bro. Jayson Tatum, I don't expect you to do shit. I don't expect you to be the best player on the team because you never were. You were propped up by the media. I call these two guys media superstars. They get called superstars, put into that slot, but they never had to prove it. They never had to prove it. So you can call me a hater or both. I don't hate these guys as people. I think they're good fathers. I think that, you know, they do a lot for their communities. But as players, overrated. Jayson Tatum is a role player. Very high level role player. Great piece to a championship team. You know, no better than Drew Holiday. No more important than Drew Holiday. And what I got irritated about, and I'm saying that in jest. Do I know that he's better than Drew Holiday? Yes. But do I think that he's a top 10 player? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. I think Donovan Mitchell's better than him. I think De'Aaron Fox is better than him. I think Jalen Brunson's better than him. I think that a lot of guys are better than him. It just depends on how you are promoted by the media, which warps the perception of the masses. You feel me? A lot of people don't know that Dame had a trash year. A lot of people don't know that. You feel me? But they will flame Kyrie. They'll flame Luka. They'll flame De'Aaron Fox. They'll flame any of these other guys if they fell off in production. But no, not Damian Lillard, because, you know, Dame time. You feel me? Mr. Loyalty. You feel me? Mr. Grind. You know, like that. You feel me? Jayson Tatum also. First team All-NBA. Where was that shit in the finals? You feel me? Niggas thought it was either going to be KP winning the finals MVP until he got hurt because that nigga was hooping. You feel me? People thought it was going to be Drew Holiday because he was hooping. People thought it was going to be Jaylen Brown because he was hooping. Bro, your name wasn't even mentioned. People thought that they were going to give it to you because you had one good game and they was going to rob Jaylen Brown of it. I was holding my breath hoping that they didn't do it. You feel me? And you were salty too. You were salty during the Olympics. You were salty during the finals. You were salty during the conference finals. You were salty. Nigga, get your game up. You ain't good enough. It is what it is. Your fans are sorry. You are sorry. Dame, your fans are sorry. You are sorry. You know, none of these niggas can prove me wrong. I hope you guys have a great NBA season watching your players, your favorite players suck. And yeah, man. Hate. Peace.